What's up guys, Stray360 here coming at you for another video. But before I do, we have information cards. It took like, I'd say a solid 3-4 hours to get all this stuff going, not including walking through the grass to make sure that all these Pokemon are here. But the info cards are here. Hope you guys enjoy them. Let me know in the comments if you do, or if not, I can save myself a lot of editing. But if you do like them, then I would be more than happy to keep doing them. I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. A few disclaimers before I start. This is not a comprehensive list. Basically what I did was I went to a website and I checked Cerebi, Pokemon Database, and I believe Bulbapedia to see what Pokemon spawn on the route normally for Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. And then I got on PokeMMO on my main account that is, finished every single region. And I thoroughly researched each and every Pokemon to see what route they're on. And then I went to that route and I kept running around because I don't have the Pokedex completed. And, just tested to see if there's anything that I was missing. So this list is not comprehensive. It's largely effort-based on my part and the part of the people who work with Bulbapedia, Cerebi.net, and Pokemon Database, as well as the PokeMMO team for putting in an amazing Pokedex that, once you encounter a Pokemon, you can figure out where they are within the region. And another disclaimer is that there will be no hidden abilities featured in this list, because in PokeMMO, hidden abilities aren't a thing. So, Pidgeot with big pecs, not a thing. Noctowl with a tinted lens, also not a thing. But without any further ado, let's start going over the slides. So first off, we have Pidgey. Now Pidgey has Keen Eye and Tangled Feet as its ability. Keen Eye makes it so that its accuracy cannot be lowered, and Tangled Feet makes it so that if it somehow gets confused, its evasiveness will actually raise. And I believe that even after it's cured of its confusion, so long as you don't switch out, the evasiveness will still be evasiveness, I should say, will still be raised. So if you take out the Pokemon and you snap out of confusion, you'll still be dodging attacks. And they do stack, so if you get cured of confusion and they confuse you again, your evasiveness is going to raise yet another stage. Pidgey gives 1 speed EV, and while it is one of the fastest Pokemon you'll encounter this early in the game, offers flying coverage and has a pretty good attack stat. Pidgeot's not really that good competitively, later on. It only has like a base 91 speed stat, a base 80 attack stat, so you would need to have like a jolly-natured Pidgeot with a choice band, and even then it's easily walled by Steel and Ground type, so don't know if that's what you want to go with. Next up we have Rattata. Rattata has Guts and Runaway for its ability. Guts makes it so that it nullifies the effect of a burn, halving your attack stat, but you still take damage from the burn every turn. And instead of actually, halving your attack stat, it actually boosts your attack. So you can put a Flame Orb in Rattata or any Pokemon with Guts, and it'll boost your attack stat, which is very good. Not really good for Rattata, because Rattata and Raticate don't really hit that hard, and, their move pool's kind of shallow anyway, so... But, nevertheless, good ability. Runaway. That ability allows you to run away. Ooh, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. From any wild Pokemon battle. So, if you have like a level 2 Rattata, and you come up against like a level 30 Pokemon, and you're like, oh man, I forgot, I was training my baby Pokemon, and went to the wrong route. Congratulations, you have a free out, and it doesn't like depend on speed or anything like that. Runaway just allows you to leave. Next up is Sentret. Also has Runaway and Keen Eye. I've already covered these, so I'm not gonna bring them up again. Sentret evolves into Furret, and while he walk, he does indeed walk. look at that speed stat, understand that Sentret is a very bad Pokemon early on, and Furret is not much better. So if you get one, it would be because of the aesthetic more so than competitive viability. At least in OU, which is what I'm kind of basing this towards. In terms of the story mode, you can really use any Pokemon and it won't matter. Next up is Hoot Hoot. This is another normal flying type. It has insomnia, which means that it cannot be put to sleep. But, rest in peace, Sleepy. It does learn Hypnosis, which can put other Pokemon to sleep, so that's pretty useful. And as you can see from its HP, and not really its defense, but special defense stat especially, since you have to work out or worry about electric type attacks, it will be living a lot longer than Pidgeot on average, but be doing a lot less damage. Alright, moving on to Route 22. Oh, and real quick, we're gonna head back to Route 1 because I suck. I initially started putting the NPCs in. These maps are blank when I get them, so I have to download the sprites and put in the NPCs. I will do that later, but this week I'm kind of short on time because I have 5 tests this week. Woo, midterms. But I will be putting in the trainers, the items, the obstacles, like the trees and everything later. But so far, this is all I've really got. This clerk right here, where my pointer is hovering around, he'll give you a potion if you talk to him. Important, make sure you talk to him. Now, on Route 22, which is just to the west of Viridian City, you actually have a rival battle with Gary. Now, Gary will have a level 9 Pidgey and a level 9 counterpart to the starter that you picked at the beginning of the game. I'd recommend you have at least 2 Pokemon before you fight him, and you're at least up to his level, because he will not show any mercy. Mankey, terrible little Pokemon that killed Sleepy, even though it was really my fault because I suck. We're gonna blame it on Mankey. Mankey has Vital Spirit, which is basically the same as Insomnia, can't be put to sleep, but it also has Anger Point. Now, Anger Point's kind of interesting because if it gets hit by a critical attack, or it gets hit by a critical hit, then it will max out its attack stat, and it'll be crazy and dangerous. I believe Frost Breath has a 100% chance to crit, so if you're in doubles and you have a Cubchoo and a Mankey and Little Cup, congratulations, you immediately have your attack maxed out turn 1. In singles, it's kind of niche, so you may not get a lot of use from it, but look at that. Pidgeot has a base 80 attack stat, and so does Mankey. Hits very hard. Speed's not that bad, but it doesn't really scale up too well since it only has one other evolutionary stage, being Primeape, and typically is outclassed by Machamp because No Guard Dynamic Punch is the devil's lettuce. Next up we have Spearow. Spearow is pretty outclassed in every single way, either by Pidgey or by Doduo, so there's not a lot to talk about here, but if you like a crow chicken thing, then go for it. Ponyta has the ability Runaway and Flash Fire. I believe I already covered Runaway. You can get away from any other wild Pokemon battle, not trainer battles. And Flash Fire is actually pretty useful because it absorbs any fire attack, and what it does is it boosts the power of your fire type moves. Not your moves in general, just your fire type moves. So, for instance, say you're in a single battle and you're fighting up against, let's say, an Exploud or whatever, and you know it's faster than Bulbasaur, right? Or at this case, Venusaur, and you know it's going to use Flamethrower, and it's going to pick up the KO on you because it's crazy, has Life Orb and all that. Yeah, whatever. Switch out your Venusaur, throw in Rapidash, because it gets it too as an evolutionary ability. You absorb that. Your Flamethrower, Fire Blast, whatever you're going to do to that poor Exploud is going to be even stronger than it normally would, and you're faster than Exploud. So, congratulations, you've worked yourself out of a bad situation. Then we have Doduo. Doduo is kind of outclassed, mainly by Staraptor. Like, I can't really recommend these normal flying types over Staraptor because it gets close combat, it gets Brave Bird, it's fast, it hits hard. Like, I, I don't know. Kanto just, power creep is a thing. But Doduo has early bird, and what it does is it cuts the amount of times, or the amount of turns, I should say, that you are asleep in half. So if you are going to be asleep for 6 turns, you're asleep for 3 turns. If you get hit by sleep powder, and you're going to be asleep for 3 turns, it cuts it down to 1.5. Now I know what you're thinking. How can I be asleep for 1.5 turns? Doesn't make any sense. You're right, it rounds down. So if you would be asleep for 1.5 turns, it's going to round down to 1 turn. So you're going to be like, okay, you put me to sleep, I can't move for that 1 turn, and now I'm up, I'm hitting. Nidoran, a Pokemon that I'm actually after, but I won't spoil this episode. A Pokemon that I'm after has Poison Point and Rivalry. Nidoran, pretty good Pokemon, has solid attack stats. Speed leaves something to be desired. Same with defenses, really. But, pretty solid Pokemon. And Nidoking has pretty good coverage, and I believe Earth Power is in the game. So if you want to run a special set with, like, Surf, Ice Beam, Sludge Wave, Earth Power, like 4 attacking moves, and, like, just pick a color, and that's what you're doing. And put an expert belt on it. If you don't like have enough or like a choice specs or whatever, go for it. But yeah, Nidoran's pretty interesting and pretty useful. And I didn't say it before, I don't believe, but the EVs at the bottom, every time you beat this Pokemon, you're gonna get 1 EV in speed. Every time you beat a Ponyta, you're gonna get 1 speed EV. Every time you beat a Doduo, you're gonna get 1 attack EV, and so on and so forth. I put that there so that you don't have to go to Serebii.net and say, well, I want to get into competitive PokeMMO, but I don't know how to train my Pokemon because I don't know what Pokemon give the EVs. They're going to be here. And then the last thing of interest on Route 22 is the rival battle, which we already covered, so I'm an idiot, and I'm going to move on. Viridian Forest, there's a lot to cover here, so I'm going to go quick. If you chose a Charmander and betrayed the Bulbasaur gang, 1, ow. Why'd you do that to me? And 2, these Pokemon, Bulbasaur and Oddish, are going to be your out for Brock. You can still keep your Charmander, and I recommend that you evolve it into a Charmeleon, because you can go up to the level cap of 20, and you can get Metal Claw and hit real hard. But honestly, I don't think Metal Claw is going to save you in this game, because Brock's always going to go for Rock Tomb. He's always going to slow you down, and then he's always going to be hitting harder and harder, and it's not going to be fun. Not to mention, Geodude has Sturdy, so danger lies ahead. But Chlorophyll and Oddish, wow, Bellsprout and Oddish both have Chlorophyll, which basically makes it so that if the sun's out, the guns are out. If the sun's out, they're going to be faster. A lot faster, actually, because that's what Chlorophyll does. Now, this is kind of a give and take, because if you do Sunny Day, and you have a Bellsprout, yeah, you're faster because you have Chlorophyll, and yeah, Solar Beam does hit turn 1. However, Fire-type attacks do more damage, and you being a Grass type is not the look for that particular scenario, Kinda dangerous. Moving on from them, however, also Oddish gives 1 special attack EV, which is very rare in the beginning routes. Moving on from them, we have Pikachu, the tried and true, the mascot of Pokemon. I don't really like it that much myself, but it does give 2 speed EVs. It's very rare in Viridian Forest. It has a base 90 speed as just a Pikachu, and it has static, so if they hit you, there's a 30% chance that they get paralyzed. I believe it's 30% chance. I think Lightning Rod is a hidden ability. Don't at me if I'm wrong. Actually, do at me. If I'm wrong, or if I miss anything, please do say so in the comments. I would very much appreciate it, because I'd like to have a comprehensive list. It's kind of cool doing this research. Pikachu competitively, yikes, man. I mean, you breathe on it and it dies, so I can't really say that you should get a Pikachu, but at the same time, if you want to throw a light ball on it and make it, like, really strong, or throw a Focus Sash and, make it really annoying, then you could do that, but ultimately, Pikachu's just not the move for me. Sorry. The second wave of Viridian Forest Pokemon are Caterpie, Metapod, Weedle, Kakuna, Pidgey, Pidgeotto, and Hoothoot. We've already covered Pidgey and Hoothoot, and Pidgeotto is just a beefed up Pidgey. So really, we're going to be focusing on Caterpie, Metapod, Weedle, and Kakuna. Now, Shield Dust basically nullifies a status effect if it's a secondary effect from a move. Now, I know that doesn't make sense, so hang with me. If Darkrai uses Dark Void, right, it's going to do damage, and it's going to put you to sleep. And that sucks. Shield Dust makes it so that it only does damage. It won't put you to sleep. If someone uses Poison Jab on you, they're going to do damage, but they can't poison you. So that's what Shield Dust does. Shed Skin is a little bit different. Shed Skin cannot prevent you from being status. However, once you've become status, there's a chance at the end of every turn that Metapod just sheds it off. He's just like, alright, you burned me, I'm gonna shed off my skin. I'm no longer burned. You poisoned me, get that off of me. No longer poisoned. You broke my spine and I'm completely paralyzed from the neck down. Does he even have a neck? You know what? I shed my skin and somehow that fixes my bones. Yeah. And the same thing for Weedle and Kakuna. Now, between the two, Beedrill's probably a better bet than Butterfree, but the first shiny I ever caught was a shiny Caterpie, which I evolved into a shiny Butterfree, so my bias goes to Butterfree over Beedrill, even though Beedrill is probably better. In addition to that, I will say this, if you're taking a Caterpie, a Weedle, Kakuna, Metapod, Butterfree, especially Butterfree, into the fight with Brock, I hope you're not doing a Nuzlocke, and I hope you don't like them because they will die. That Rock Tomb is something else. Oh, and on this slide, because I forgot, literally I was walking around in Viridian Forest for about 3 hours. Not all in PokeMMO, but like I had some time, so like an hour and a half. I was playing Fire Red on the actual cartridge I own on my Nintendo DS. And I was walking around, and that's how I knew Pidgeotto was there, because it like showed up on my Fire Red game. However, on PokeMMO, I was walking around in Viridian Forest, and if you can follow my cursor when it ever shows up, I was like right around here, like getting ready to leave. I'm walking through the grass. The Mossy Rock is right here, by the way, where you can evolve Eevee into Leafeon. I was walking through the grass, and then right here, in this row, right as I'm leaving, right as I have already made all of these other slides, and got all the information from them, and I'm just doing a quick double check, Ladybug pops up and makes me have to make an entirely new slide just for this Pokemon. That's not even good, mind you. Not even good. Take Butterfree and make it even more niche and less likable, because I hate ladybugs, and there you go. Ladybug. Thank you for making me spend 20 more minutes getting your stats and everything and learning what your abilities do. Swarm is basically the same as Blaze, Torrent, and Overgrowth. Once you're down to, I believe, a third, maybe a fourth of your health, all your stab attacks, well, not all your stab attacks, let me clarify. For Swarm, all your bug attacks get stronger. For Torrent, Water, Overgrowth, Grass, and Blaze, Fire. Those get mad boosts. Kind of dangerous though, because, you know, you're already knocking on death's doorstep, and it's not a stat boost, so it's not like you can say, alright, I'm gonna take this super effective attack, I know I can tank it, he's gonna eat a berry, and I'm gonna go up to like, I'm gonna get 30% of my health back, and no, that's not how it works. It's just the moves that get powered up. It's not an overall stat boost. But Ladybug does give one special defense, so hand clap for you, Ladybug. Congratulations. Now, Route 2 is a little weird, and it has only Pokemon that we've already covered. So Route 2, there's a north and a south Route 2. To the south here, and to the north, I believe you can encounter all the same Pokemon, if I'm not mistaken, but I could very well be mistaken. But the main thing I want to cover is this kind of side route here. Now, the trees aren't there here because this is a map that doesn't have the trees. Sorry. But there will be barriers here, and if you don't have cut, you can't get into this eastern part of Route 2. That said, this is Diglett Cave. If you want a Diglett or a Dugtrio, which I would highly recommend because Lieutenant Surge is a thing, and you know, it'll help. You can get one here. Here, in this little building, this little like hut, small little condominium type thing. I don't know. Who decide to make their home like right here. But you can trade an Abra, I believe, for Mr. Mime, and I think that's right, but I don't know. And then down here, in this border house, you can find one of Professor Oak's aides, who will give you something, an item that I don't remember, but I can assure you we will be back here after Vermilion City, and you'll see firsthand. A lot of the hidden items also in the Pokeballs, you can see the Pokeballs there. They're very visible, so I'm not going to cover them, but in the future I will get their sprites and put them where they are. And then a lot of the hidden items, I don't even know where to begin covering that. So if you watch the video, chances are I'll find it, especially when I get the item finder, because I'm very particular about that. But we'll see in the future. Now, the only Pokemon, literally the only Pokemon that we haven't covered yet on Route 2 is Nidoran female, unless I missed one, which is entirely possible. Again, entirely possible. Now, ability-wise, Nidoran female and Nidoran male are the same. Same with type, however, their stats pretty different, and they can make quite a big difference. For instance, if you want to run Earthquake, Mega Horn, Poison Jab, that type of thing, Stone Edge, you're gonna want to go with Nidoran male because its attack stat is higher than Nidoran females, and it's just gonna stay that way as they continue to evolve. However, if you want to live, if you want to live in Earthquake, if you want to be able to tank hits, I would go with Nidoran female actually because she tanks hits better than Nidoran male. Nidoran male is just a better attacker, however, and he's also faster. Now, in terms of special attack, that's where it gets kind of funny. The lines get kind of blurred because you can use Nidoran male or Nidoran female. It doesn't really matter because they're the same in terms of special attack. And special attack is kind of useful because you do have a stab with Earth Power for both of these as they evolve. You have Ice Beam, which is great coverage for opposing ground types. You have Thunderbolt in case you want to take out some water types. You have options. You have Sludge Wave for another stab that actually does more damage than Poison Jab. I mean, special attacking Nidoran, Nidoking, and Nidoqueen are definitely a thing. So it all depends on what you want to do, how you want to raise your team. Now, I know this info card is pretty long. It's like 23 minutes unedited. Probably 25 once I finish this little outro. However, I feel it's important to add it here so that you can see what you're getting into. But I also know that no one wants to sit around and watching like a 50-minute video, especially when most of it's just me talking about Pokemon. But I do hope that you like it. If you don't, there's no problem. I can just like get rid of it. It'll be fine. I won't bore you with it again. But if you do like it, make sure you leave it in the comment section, and I'll continue to do this. Also, there'll be a lot less time dedicated to this in the future because I took all of episode 1 and everything I'm going to be going through in episode 2. I just crammed it all together because I forgot to do it in episode 1. So really, this is like 2 episodes in one. So instead of like 25 minutes, you can probably expect like 12 and a half minutes on average for this. And Viridian Forest definitely has no shortage of Pokemon, so that didn't help either. Without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. So, in between episodes, right, there are a few things that I got wrong, and there's a new approach that I'm going to be having towards the whole video thing. So first off, this guy over here, he doesn't teach you Rest, he teaches you Dream Eater. Foresight does not guarantee the next hit will connect. It's basically like a move version of the ability Scrappy, so that you can hit ghost types with like normal type moves and vice versa. Um, and yeah, I, I definitely had Sleepy die because I'm a bad trainer. But we're back again, and this time I have kind of a different approach to how I'm going to be doing videos. So one thing I found out also when I was doing some testing, I haven't trained Sprout. He's still at like what, level 8 or whatever. Um, One thing that I have found out is that a lot, and I mean a lot of Pokemon are different in PokeMMO than in the base game. So for instance, when I was just running around here trying to get Pokemon for like the cards that I'm going to be doing, which I forgot to put into the first part, by the way, um, I encountered Ponyta and Doduo, and I didn't even know these Pokemon could be found in this area, and I don't know if you could find them in Fire Red and Leaf Green, but they're certainly here now. So what I'm going to do for this episode is first objective is to get a Nidoran, right? Mainly because if I want to make sure that Brock doesn't just run through our team, I feel like double kick is going to be necessary. Um, so it's going to take a while to do that. But after we get that Nidoran going, the first priority is to just get through Viridian Forest, because I kind of don't want this to fall into a slump and be behind, especially since my schedule is going to be very busy this upcoming week with tests and everything. Midterms, great, love them. Um, so we're just going to try and put it into overdrive. I got some feedback, some really good feedback. One of my buddies who watches my videos, and actually was the one who corrected me on the Dream Eater and what else? Foresight. Thanks very much for that. Uh, he said that it probably flows smoother if I didn't cut out the wild battles. If you guys want to see me cut them out, then I will. No problem, no big deal. But at the same time, nice, got Vine Whip. At the same time, if it's too jarring to see me like cut out a lot of wild battles, just let me know. But for now, I'm going to be leaving them in. So that now that Bulbasaur is level 9, I'm actually going to get him to level 10 before I go into the forest, because I believe the trainers are a little bit stronger there. Then once we get to level 10, we're going to try and like rush through the forest. I'm going to try and get every item, but right now I don't have the item finder, so if there are items hitting around that I've missed, please let me know, and I will scout them out. And I'm going to be a little less, I guess, strict on the EV training. I don't really care if I get a lot of physical attack from Mankey, so long as Bulbasaur is of the appropriate level and I can win. That was wow. And I kind of have a vendetta against Mankey now, and I know it's my fault that Sleepy died, and some people apparently did get attached, but I mean, Mankey didn't have to. He didn't have to do my boy Sleepy like that. I mean, I guess he did. It's in his coding, but it still hurt. It still hurt. Rest in peace, Sleepy. Gone but not forgotten. So, let's see if we can get Sprout to level 10. Level 10 is kind of like an arbitrary objective because we've already got Vine Whip, but I just kind of want the level boost of it all. So, yeah, doesn't really matter. Also, another thing of mild importance, on the first character, you may notice that something's a little bit different. I traded the 2 Nidoran that I had. I just traded them off to a spare account that I had because I'm just like, I don't really need them, and they kind of clutter up box space. So some things may look a little different. I have been doing a few things off camera, but not much at all. So let's see if we can just grind out this last level. I believe the Sparrow should do it. I don't want Sprout to die. I'm gonna be very, very honest. I don't want Sprout to die. Because if Sprout dies, then I'm in a predicament. Because I'm like, I have no more Pokemon. So, and I can't access the global trade link until I get 4 gym badges. So, I would have to like mail myself like a level 1 Magikarp from another account or start over. I don't even know. Does the run end? That's something I haven't really thought about. I didn't think it would get that far until I lost Sleepy, and then I realized, oh yeah, this is a little bit harder than what I'm used to. So I'm definitely going to be playing more carefully, and that may add to the runtime of this series because I'm going to have to grind things out. But at the same time, it's kind of necessary. Even now, I'm kind of pushing it because there are a bunch of Spearow here and Rattata, which doesn't get Super Fang yet, so I'm fine. There's a lot of cheese that goes on, especially in PokeMMO, because everyone and every mon is operating at the most optimal efficiency they can. Sometimes they do dumb things, because no AI is perfect. But after this Rattata, we should definitely be at level 10. And I'm going to heal up, go into Viridian, and start working our way towards Brock. Ideally, I could get to the Brock fight by the end of this, like take out that first trainer and be like staring him down, but we'll see how it goes. I'm pacing myself because I don't want to lose Pokemon unnecessarily again by trying to rush through the game. But I also don't want to like play like an idiot and lose more Pokemon, so that's entirely on me that Sleepy's gone. Hopefully that never happens again, or something like that never happens again, you know. So we're going to heal up, and we're going to go into Viridian Forest. I believe that Nidoran can be caught on whatever that route is. I think it's Route 2 that leads up to Pewter after the forest, so we can look for it there too. But right now we're just kind of gunning for progress, kind of chill. But at the same time, I've lost a Pokemon before my first gym badge. So I'm a little shook. I'm shaken, not stirred. So here we go. Alright, Viridian Forest. Now, I believe that there are items up to the top left. And I know that there's a mossy rock in here. Yeah, so here we go. First item we're going to get is a Pokeball, which is actually really good. Because I don't want to, you know, have to spend money on Pokeballs. I only have 360 bucks. So, I'm already kind of hurting for cash. And over here, I believe this is an antidote, but Caterpie's going to stop me from finding out, which is fine. Level 7. Wow. Alright. I do like Butterfree. It's actually the first shiny that I've ever had, but I'm not going to get a Butterfree in this run because, one, I'll get attached because I like the Pokemon, and two, Brock will kill it. And evolving into Butterfree before the battle would actually be worse, because then I'm taking times 4 damage instead of times 2. So Butterfree really doesn't have a place in that gym battle. So fortunately I'm going to be skipping out on catching a Caterpie, even though I do like them as a Pokemon. So, and just knock out this Caterpie real quick. And I kind of want to minimize healing, so I'm going to be doing mostly trainer battles. What am I doing? Oh, it's a super potion. I'll take that. Yeah, I'm going to be minimizing wild battles and just focusing on trainer battles. I'm on channel 5 this time around, so I'm going to change the channel back to channel 1, simply because there's more people. Yeah, give you guys something to look at. So, is this the guy who says Caterpie can't hack it? Bugcatcher Rick. Let's do it. Alright, so starting off, they're kind of weak, so I'm not really too worried about it. I may have to train Nidoran off camera, but nah, we'll just see. I feel like I'm worrying a little too much about it. I need to relax a bit more. Too uptight. This Caterpie can take a beating though, but we have Leech Seed, so it doesn't matter. This is why I love Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur doesn't care about a lot of things. Of the starters, I believe Blastoise has a better defense than Bulbasaur. Like overall. But Bulbasaur can just take a hit. He can take a hit really well, and you don't have to worry about poison, so Viridian's Forest is a lot easier. Like this Poison Sting. It evokes no fear over me. I'm totally fine. Oh, and another reason, I should say this. Another reason that I'm kind of trying to hurry along the progress for this, other than not being able to record for a lot this weekend, is I'm going to be starting a new series. And I'm not going to give away what it is just yet, but it is a game that I do love playing, and I can play it for like hours, so I'm going to stop talking about it, because otherwise I'll give it away. If you're tuned into my channel, you'll see it. Which, by the way, I know it's not a huge deal when you look at like the grand scheme of YouTube and how there's a bunch of people who have like a bunch of subscribers and stuff. But I do this for fun, so I don't always record what's popular, but I will acknowledge that I have gotten past 10 subscribers, so it's a small milestone, but a milestone nonetheless, and I'm pretty happy about it. So we're gonna keep trucking along through Viridian Forest. I'm also gonna try to upload more regularly. I feel like I've said this before, but I may not have. I'm gonna try and upload more regularly, but to do that, I'm gonna have to record a lot of things in the background. So like, instead of having like episode 1, like I record it, edit it, upload it, and then I get to see feedback and comments, which is what I prefer to do. Aw, boo. Boo, don't switch out. Instead, I'm probably going to end up recording multiple parts at once. And then splitting that up into episodes, which means that if you give me feedback, unlike this time, I won't be able to really respond to it. And I actually had to do some special measures. In order, with editing mainly, in order to respond to the feedback that I've gotten and be able to address it. But that's all behind the scenes stuff that you guys don't have to worry about. For you guys, just enjoy watching the video. Relax. Take some time out of your day. Make sure you're hydrated. Drink water. Plenty of water. I may have to catch another Pokemon though. I don't want to like... Especially since trainers are actually switching out when I give them status effects. I don't want to use Leech Seed too much, because if I keep using Leech Seed, I'm going to run out, and then I'm going to come across a Kakuna that's going to use Harden like 20 times, and I'm going to end up having to cut that fight out. So, I don't really want to spam Leech Seed, especially when they can switch out and just nullify it. So I have to be careful. Oh, a cool thing about Kakuna though, not sure if you guys know this, but like if you look around like this area, like it kind of looks like the outline of a Beedrill just right there, which is something that I never really noticed until I feel like a few days ago. I think I saw a meme about it or whatever. It's pretty interesting. Just a fun bit of trivia. As this Kakuna continues to use Harden and not die. Thanks, I appreciate you. There we go. Yeah, a lot of bug-type Pokemon get a lot of flack, surprisingly. I don't know, I like them. I've never, like, disliked... Let me check. Hold up, let me think about it. I've never disliked a bug Pokemon. Yeah. I can't wait till, Gen 6 gets added into PokeMMO, because Vivillon is actually probably my favorite bug-type Pokemon. Did I miss an item over there? I feel like I did, or a trainer battle. so I'm gonna go back. But Pavillion's my actual favorite bug-type Pokemon, because you get Compound Eyes with Sleep Powder, so it hits like way more often. And then Hurricane. Hurricane also hits, and you can throw Quiver Dance on it, and you've got yourself a discount Volcarona. But I believe the next generation that's going to be added to PokeMMO is Gen 2. Don't just take my word for that, but I think they're going to add the Johto region next. But please also understand that it takes a long time and a lot of effort for the moderators to do what they do. I don't have like any insider information. I don't even know any moderators. But it's a lot of work and a lot of love they put into this game. So just be patient. We got Platinum out, so that should hold people over for a while. I played through Platinum on my main account, like I just stormed through it because I'm impatient and I love that game. But playing through it again on this account, which will be after Hoenn, will be really fun for me because it's one of my favorite games outside of Black and White. Well, Black 2 and White 2, I should say. And yep, called out the Switch. Not really, I just spammed Leech Seed, I wasn't thinking. Yeah, Black 2 and White 2 are actually my favorite Pokemon game. And that's because Hugh is probably my favorite rival out of all of them. I feel like his team was really dynamic and interesting. And his theme, his rival theme, even puts Gary's to shame. Don't at me. I love it. But yeah, he was such a great rival to me. And then the story, like, maybe it's because I had just finished playing Black and White, but like the story, the way it built up, like it built itself up, I really liked it. And finding like the hidden laboratory, like what was it, like the P1 laboratory, like behind the starter town, that was amazing. And Colress, to this day, one of my favorite trainers. Actually, is the main reason why Magnezone's in my top 10 for my favorite Pokemon. Ooh, Magnezone. I can get a Magnezone in Kanto. Like, I can just do that. That's crazy. I have like this fire red mindset where I'm like, man, I can't wait to get all these cool Pokemon that I can't catch because I'm playing fire red, but it's a modded version. So, Magnezone's in the game. I can get a Magnezone. That's crazy. That's wild. Against my better judgment, and mainly because I have that super potion, I am going to push forward. And for the Pokemon, I've just decided after the video, I'm going to leave some time and do like a little audio voiceover and just take all the Pokemon that I've encountered during the video and cover them. So if I don't encounter a Pokemon, it's not going to get covered, unfortunately. But there's no way for me to definitively know what Pokemon are on what route anymore. I believe some people on the PokeMMO forums have put together a list of Pokemon, like for every route, and I was using that at first, and then like I said, I ran into Ponyta and Doduo on Route 22 back there, and I was just like, alright, this list isn't accurate anymore, which, nothing to flack on them, you know. Thanks for putting in the work to get that information. It's just, you know, it's not comprehensive, so I'm not gonna put out partial information. If I do, then it should at least be relevant to the video, you know, what I've actually seen. And I probably shouldn't use Leech Seed, because he's gonna switch out. And this Metapod's gonna be back, and it's gonna be a problem. Hopefully he doesn't switch, though. It'll make my life a lot easier. At the very least, we're getting recovery, though, so. There it goes. There's the switch. I can't really afford to use Leech Seed willy-nilly anymore. I have to at least save it for that Metapod, so I'm just going to keep using Tackle until it's the only thing left. Hopefully he doesn't have 2 Metapod, but I don't think he does. I think he has another Caterpie or a Weedle or something. Just from vague memories of this game. Sleep Powder. Oh, yeah. So, at level 13, Bulbasaur gets both Sleep Powder and Poison Powder. Don't do what I did the first time I played this game and get rid of Tackle and Growl for Sleep Powder and Poison Powder, because you need to have that coverage, especially when you're going up against I was gonna say relevant bug types in the competitive meta, but I mean, what are there for, well, Volcarona, but if you're using your Venusaur against a Volcarona in the first place, I would argue you're wrong. um, like, there's a lot of subjectivity in Pokemon, but throwing out your Venusaur against a Volcarona, that's kind of sketch, unless you just want to throw out Earthquake, so I don't know. Now I have to make a decision. I have to do it relatively quickly. So Poison Powder, I'll pull up the Pokedex entry while I'm thinking about it, though, to give you something to look at. So Poison Powder and Sleep Powder, right? Poison Powder has more power points, but they have the same accuracy. So I can either double up on damage and get a bunch of damage off on Pokemon via Leech Seed and Poison Powder, or I can make a Pokemon completely inactive for 1 to 3 turns. The low ball and the bad part about that is if it's 1 turn, then they just wake up next turn and start, slapping me around again anyway. The good part is that they're completely inactive, so even if they switch out, I don't think it resets the timer in PokeMMO. So that's kind of bad, but they're still inactive for that turn that they're switched out. So that can be good. Huh. And I'm only going to get 1 because I need to have Tackle for coverage at this stage in the game. I'm going to go, probably against my better judgment, I'm going to be going with Sleep Powder. And I'm not going to be learning Poison Powder, which isn't really a popular choice. But, trainer battles don't have a sleep clause. So I can put infinite amount of Pokemon to sleep on, NPC battles, I should say. Dang it, he has 2 Metapod. It's a good thing I got a Sleep Powder then. Well, Poison Powder would have done the trick too. I believe that competitive battles, like PvP, does have a sleep clause, so you don't have to worry about your entire team getting put to sleep. Shoutouts to Gen 4, pre-patch Darkrai, Dark Void, hate that. 1 turn wake up, great. But yeah, in these types of trainer battles with NPCs, I can put all of their Pokemon to sleep. All of them. And I will too, if I'm able to. So, I'm using Sleep Powder here to prevent Metapod from using Harden, so that I can kill it a little bit faster. Shed Skin, great. But I'm not going to go for Leech Seed, because if I go for Leech Seed and he switches out, then I won't have it for this other Metapod, which is pretty healthy. And I'm not concerned about losing in the slightest, because Bulbasaur can beat them. I just don't want to waste 20 minutes doing it, you know? So we're going to take out this Metapod. And now this Metapod, we're going to go for Leech Seed. And if I miss, I'm going to be a little heated. But here we have a potion and a Mossy Rock. So if you have an Eevee, I don't know if you have to like interact with the Mossy Rock or just level up Leafeon with a rare candy near it or in that grass over there. I don't know, but this is where you would get a Leafeon theoretically if you want one. Hopefully, this guy doesn't have a Metapod, because I feel as though he's the last trainer. So hopefully he doesn't have a Metapod, sweet. So we can just end this. I'm gonna go for Vine Whip because it's all I have. I'm even struggling to get through Viridian Forest, but so far we are on time. Bug Bite, that's dangerous. Bug Bite does quite a bit of damage. I may have to use an item here. I don't want to use items. And I'm limiting myself to 3 for gym leaders. and Elite Four members. But for trainer battles, I'm gonna limit myself to one, because I shouldn't need a bunch of items for a trainer battle, you know? I say that, but I've just made myself nervous because this Vine Whip is not hitting like it should. Alright. Don't miss a sleep powder, please. Yo, Sprout's on it. I'm attached, and that's what makes this even scarier, because Sprout is on it. Hopefully he doesn't get a first turn wake up. I'm trying to maximize the damage I can do. And I don't want to throw away my potion, or my super potion for that matter. But when it comes to Sprout living, I definitely will. I will. I don't care. You can flame me in the comment section, but I will do it. Oh, it looks like we got the full 3 turns. Also, I know that a lot of people may not have chosen Squirtle or may have chosen Squirtle or Charmander. I had 18. I'm down to 12. That's 6 damage. I should be able to take another one in case the sleep powder misses. But Sprout's on the ball today. Okay. But I am going to be trying to do a little bit of theory crafting for if you didn't pick Bulbasaur, because the game's a lot easier if you do pick Bulbasaur, just saying, at least in the beginning. But if you're going up to Brock and you have a Charmander and you're scared for your life because you're also doing a permadeath, I will tell you right now, what am I doing? Why am I stupid? Why did I click tackle? I will say this, you can get Oddish in Viridian Forest, and I also believe you can find Bellsprout here. So, looking for those, amazing. Especially in the beginning when you don't really have a lot of resources. Having Oddish and Bellsprout are pretty amazing. Because you don't want to grind up to get Metal Claw and then die because you lost to a crit and you're slow because he's using Rock Tomb, you know? You don't want to go out like that, so make sure you have a good look for Brock. You don't want to walk in there unprepared and, you know, literally get rocked. Also, having Nidoran helps because it learns Double Kick, which is super effective move against rock types. So I'm not going to chance it. I'm going to walk directly into that Pokemon Center and heal up Sprout because I am very, very, very scared. There we go. I do have quite a bit of money from those trainers. So, and I have more potions because I found some in the in the forest. So we're actually looking pretty good. Rattata. So yeah. All right. So I've reached about 30 minutes. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna go in and just kind of test the waters. You know. I'm gonna test the waters to see how strong the trainers surrounding Brock are. Again, I've already tested up to this point in the game, but I don't want to like rely on testing because I do want to be surprised and challenged. So let's see how strong he is. Alright, so he's got a Sandshrew. Sandshrew is capable of getting Magnitude, but I don't know at what level. I'm just going to go for the Vine Whip to kind of test the waters, and if he has Magnitude, then I'll go for Leech Seed. Right now, it doesn't look like he has any ground type coverage because I feel like he would have done it by now. Or off the bat, you know, just right off the rip. That's typically how they go. Go for Tackle. And I would not be surprised if he had a Geodude for a second slot because it's like, you know, the go-to rock type. So we're at level 14. And I'm going to go for Leech Seed here on Onix. Or not Onix, I'm dumb. Geodude. Ooh, that hit a little bit harder. Let's go for Vine Whip. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, executive decision. Next episode. Right? Because this one's kind of coming to a close. next episode, the game plan is to catch an Nidoran, get it to level 12, and get Ivysaur to level 16, because that was just a random trainer, you know? And he put forth a lot of good effort there. So, I'm going to explore the town, and then after that, I'm gonna call it quits. So far, there's not much here that I'm seeing. Do you check out the museum? No. Oh, wait, no. Well, I did this to me. Yep, this is it. It's the museum. I have to pay to get in, but it's worth it. Is it? I have to wait for you to walk back? Thanks. I will check out the museum just to see if it's actually worth it, but from my memory, I don't think it is. Once you get cut, though, you can go in here and get Aerodactyl. But understand that since it's from Old Amber, I think since it's from Old Amber and you're guaranteed to get it, the Aerodactyl is going to be much like Bulbasaur here and have 15 in all of his stat spread for Ivy and have like a neutral nature. For here, they have repels, and I don't need an antidote right now, so I actually am going to sell it for a little bit of money, just a little bit of cash. And I'm going to spend, well, not even that, because it's one repel is more expensive than one antidote, but at a discounted rate, I guess. I am going to get, let's say 2 repels, because the last thing I want is to go into Mount Moon and be bombarded, absolutely overran with Zubat. Just Zubat everywhere. I hate it, and I don't want it. For potions, I think I'm good, because I have 2 potions and a super potion, which should be enough. Famous last words, right? I don't need an escape route, because I'm just gonna walk through. I'm just gonna walk, like, use your legs, it's not hard. Awakening and Paralyzed Hill, I'm gonna need those later, but not right now. And Pokeballs, I found one, so I have 3 now. So I'll be alright. I will look at the cosmetics, though, because they're... Ooh. Try not to sneeze. Whew, sorry. They're different for every town. So here you have the camper hat, and as you can see with the camper hat, since it's like based off a trainer class, you can't really change the color. That's kind of weird, because you can change the color of the explorer's hat, which is also something that you can find archaeologist trainers wearing. So, I don't know. Depends on what you like. They also have a chunky beret, if that's more so your style. And like the Serana, I always forget like her little boater and sunglasses combo. And they've got a nurse hat, which actually looks kind of funny to wear. So, yeah. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I know it was a long one. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Next time, I'll have Bulbasaur evolved into an Ivysaur, and we'll see if we can take Brock down without losing anyone. Until next time, take it easy.